Mike, just before Stephen goes, I just quickly wanted to start off by just saying that, we have, some players on our team, with family members from Florida, and, talked to the team about it yesterday, and just wanted to make sure that, I mentioned the fact that, boy, what a tough couple of days for a lot of people in Florida. A lot of thoughts and prayers for so many people down there. We go through our day-to-day here, and it goes from game to game, but to see some of the devastation that's gone on, people's lives turned upside down, but it gives you a lot of pause. So thinking about all those folks down there, and, just certainly for the people that were affected close to our family, going to try to do everything we can to help them. Good, Steve.
Okay. To follow up with a football thing, that was very nice.
Oh, good.
You. When you first met CJ, and I know a lot of times with these quarterbacks, when they recruit, you like to get them up on the board. What impressed you about his football IQ when you first got a chance to really sit down and talk and meet with him?
His overall intelligence, his ability to communicate, his ability to process information. And I think he came from a program where, he got really good coaching, but more importantly, he had to figure a lot out on his own. And, that showed a lot to us of, he was a self-starter, and very, very driven. And this is somebody that, saw himself in this role, and he was very, very hungry, and it matters a lot to him. So, I think when you mix all those things in, that's why you got somebody special. But his, like you said, you could see it early on. His ability to process information, his intelligence and football IQ was very, very high coming in.
All right, we'll go next to Cameron Teague from The Athletic.
Hey, Ryan, just as an offensive play caller, when you face a defense like Jim has, and the athleticism and versatility they have at safety, you guys have at safety right now, how difficult is that? Because you can change so many things on the back end and confuse quarterbacks and offenses.
Yeah, it makes you work. I think the thing that Jim does a great job of is, he changes the look, but keeps it simple for his guys. I think that's important. I think it's easy to change up the looks and be multiple, but, how much can you actually do and still be fundamentally sound? And, the more you can be fundamentally sound, but change up the looks pre-snap and post-snap for the offensive line and for the quarterbacks, that's when you're stressing out the offense. So, we try to, challenge ourselves every day in practice and find that balance. But, anytime you can make the quarterback and offensive line work, then you're putting stress on them.
All right, we'll go next to Clay Hall from WSYX.
Ryan, anybody in particular on the team there affected with family? I know you don't quite have as many Floridians as you used to have, but are there people in harm's way there?
So, we, checked in with, everybody and their families, and there's certainly some, in particular, I know that, Kai Stokes both his folks are first responders. So they're, trying to help as much as they can down in the Tampa area. And there's a lot of people affected. It isn't just, close friends, or, it's not just, the nuclear family, it's close friends, relatives, coaches, family members. So yeah, there's a few folks being affected. We haven't heard of anybody in life-threatening situations at this point, but I know communication in some of those areas actually isn't great right now. So we're going to keep an eye on it the best we can.
Thank you.
Yep.
All righty, next up we'll go to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors.
Hey, Ryan, with Parker now being eligible, are you guys planning to see what he can do on kickoffs, or do you like what you're seeing from Jaden in that area?
I think Jaden's off to a great start. I think that, he's done some good things. He certainly hasn't been perfect, missed a couple here. And so we want that consistency. We want him to be the best in the country at what he does. That's the expectation for any position here at Ohio State. We'll go into the game with Jaden and kind of take it from there.
All right, we'll go next to Tim May from Letterman Row.
Thank you, Michael. Coach, when you watched Josh Proctor, the video from last week and stuff, and you've touched on this a little bit, but what did you for the first time maybe in a while, did you see him really just balling? I mean, playing ball, flowing, triggering, in a smooth way. How would you describe what you saw from him, and how does that portend maybe games down the road now from this guy?
Yeah, I think you're right. He obviously missed a ton last year, so hard to go off of that. But yeah, I thought last week was the first time you got to see the old Josh back, which has been great. But I think that honestly wasn't physical. He's been back physically for a little while. I think it's the preparation he put in last week with Perry and Jim and everybody over there. It was a grind all week. Kept checking in with Perry to see how he's doing, knowing he was going to get to start. And each week it was like he's putting in the work. Coach, he's had a good day of practice. He's working. So anytime you get that kind of feedback, you kind of expect someone to play well. And he's got to stay on that discipline. He's got to bring it every single week like that. And to me, with Josh, it's always just been about the preparation for his body, mind, and soul to go play in a game. And so it was great to see him back. I think that's the proc that we think can help us reach our goals this year. And so that was great to see. And like you said, the film showed that.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, next up, Austin Ward from Rivals.
Ryan, with Denzel's hand, I'm sure that nobody would enjoy having a huge club on it. So I understand that part of it. Did he just feel Saturday like he wasn't comfortable enough yet to go play in a game with that? And do you all know, like Damon had to wear it pretty much all season a couple of years ago. Do you know how long that might be necessary for Denzel?
Yeah, it was too close from when it occurred to put him in the game. And now he's had a good week of practice, so great to see him back. And yeah, we'll see. That it may be something that we have to keep an eye on here for the remainder of the season and protect it. But we'll kind of see how it heals and how it does. But he's going to be ready to roll this week, and excited to see him back on the field.
All right, we'll go next to Nathan Baird from Cleveland.com.
Ryan, obviously, when Sonny's making the decision to reclassify and come here a year earlier than originally expected, that's probably not just unilaterally his decision. You guys are involved in that too. What, excuse me, what were the factors involved in that calculus from your perspective, and how did he pass those?
Yeah, quite honestly, his mom and his dad decided they wanted to commit to us last year, and then I think it was during the Michigan State game. We met over at the Blackwell, and they shared their interest in reclassifying and coming in this year. And it was like, okay, that's not for everybody. And we've been down the road before where that's not worked. So, we're very sensitive to that, to make sure that it's the right thing to have, somebody who's coming into school a year early, just has to be the right person, and the family's got to be behind it. I've always felt that way. And certainly, the player has to be behind it, because you have to see it through, good or bad, because it's going to be hard. It's hard enough for someone who's gone through 4 years of high school. So, supported him on the decision, but also was a little cautious coming in. Honestly, did not feel like he would have the impact that he's having right now, just early on. Just been very impressed with his approach, his maturity, his work ethic, his attitude. His parents did an unbelievable job raising this young man. He's special. And, we're very fortunate this has worked out our way. And, he's going to be a really good Buckeye for us.
All righty, we'll wrap it up with the last two here. First one to Joey Kaufman from the Dispatch.
Ryan, with this being kind of the 4-game mark and decisions on redshirting guys, are there anybody that's sort of at this point, this will be the 5th game, like anybody who's kind of like on the fence for you guys, or how do you guys kind of make those decisions?
Not really. Most of the guys that are going to go play in this game, we've talked about they're going to play. A couple guys we had to have conversations with, but at this point, the guys who are going to be playing in this game are playing for the year, and that was the expectation going into the season. There might be a conversation in another couple of weeks, if appropriate, for maybe a couple of younger players. But right now, we're in good shape, and the guys who are playing are going to play all year.
All righty, we'll wrap it up with Bill Rabinowitz from the Dispatch.
Hi, Ryan. Jack Sawyer and JT, the two sophomores, get a lot of attention and praise, and you have Mike Hall, who's emerged. Teron Vincent's been here a long time. How important is he to your team, and what would you want to say about him as a player or person?
Well, I thought he played some really good football last week, ate up some double teams, was in the backfield a few times. And, we're going to go as far as the defensive line takes us. And so his attitude, his positivity, his production is going to be important for our success on defense. And like you said, he's been here for a while. He's a veteran. He's very intelligent, and he has a lot of ability. So, if we're going to play in conference big games like that, and he plays the way he did in that game, then that's going to really help us reach our goals, and that's going to be important.
And any update on Jackson or Cam Brown?
Don't have any updates right now. No.
All righty, coach. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you Saturday after the game.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.